Hi everybody, welcome to Hammy's Barbecue and Grilling. I'm Hammy, also Mike. Thanks for being with me today, checking out my video, checking out my channel. Today I am going to be making pork spare ribs on a gas grill. I've made pork spare ribs on my charcoal grill tons of times. I've never done them on the gas grill before. So before we get the ribs out, let me go ahead and review a couple of things. If you are interested in learning how to make pork ribs with a charcoal grill, check out my channel and you can find out that way. Let's go ahead and talk first of all about spare ribs versus baby back ribs. You've probably heard of both. They're both pork ribs. Baby back ribs do not come from baby pigs, but they do come from near the back of a hog, of a pig. They are up towards the back of a hog, on the side up towards the back. They are generally smaller, shorter than spare ribs, leaner than spare ribs. Here in Southern California where I live, they're very, very common in restaurants, more common than spare ribs. So maybe you've had them before. Whether you like spare ribs or baby back ribs is really a matter of choice. So here we have one rack of pork spare ribs. I must let you know that I've done a couple steps already off camera. Last weekend I planned to make 6 racks of ribs with my 26-inch charcoal grill and my 22-inch Weber charcoal grill. And I had trouble doing a repair for the one-touch cleaning system on the 22, so I had to reduce 6 racks to 4. So I decided to freeze the other 2 racks for another time. And that time happens to be today, right now. So a couple things I already did that you'll want to do if you attempt this. First of all, rinse the pork spare ribs with water. Secondly, you're going to want to pat dry with a paper towel, both sides, all ends. Third thing you're going to want to do is cut off any excessive fat and smooth out any edges. You're also going to want to do what's called a St. Louis cut. If you have not heard of that, this right here is a St. Louis cut. See how it's a really solid, almost perfect rectangle. So I bought these that way from Costco. If you happen to buy standard pork spare ribs with the big flaps of meat, if you can picture this, you'll have a flap of meat like around here of pork and some bones and tissue and cartilage, whatever here. You simply cut through it. So I would recommend Googling how to cut St. Louis cut for pork spare ribs, or look it up on YouTube. That's a video I'll do in the future. So, but you definitely want to either create your own St. Louis cut ribs or buy them pre-done. When you buy them pre-done, they're a little bit more expensive per pound, but they save a lot of work. The next thing you want to do is to remove, there's a thing called a membrane. That I've already done as well because I thought I was going to cook these last weekend. The membrane, also called the silver skin, is a bit of tissue membrane. It makes the meat really, really chewy. Some people say leave it in. Most people I know say leave it off. And I do have a brief video on my channel on how to remove the membrane. So those are some steps you want to do initially. We're going to do a dry rub, and we're going to need 3 things. The first is peanut oil. I got this at Stater Brothers if you live here in Southern California. It can be tricky to find. I've seen peanut oil at Stater's, and I've seen it at Bond's. Secondly, you're going to need your favorite rub, or make your own. There's a lot of rubs I like. I really like Famous Dave's rib rub, and it's good on all types of pork dishes and cuts. So Famous Dave's rib rub, and then finally some fresh pepper on the smallest granule. So the first thing we're going to do is use a binder. If you're new to binders, some people say use them, some people say don't. I've always been taught to use them for low and slow cooks. So you basically just get all the sides, both sides and the edges, with the peanut oil. And as I mentioned earlier, you can see all the fat around here compared to baby back ribs. So you're going to go ahead and apply the peanut oil, and then you're going to apply your favorite rub. Homemade or store-bought's fine, whatever you like. You want to apply this about 6 to 12 inches in the air so the seasonings and spices evenly distribute on their way down. Do this generously. This will help build a bark. I'm not sure what kind of bark we'll have with gas grill, but this will help build a nice exterior and give it a lot of good flavor. I've used this Famous Dave's rub for a couple years now. It's really good. And then some fresh pepper. And then just give it a little pat. If you're new to barbecue and rubs, they say rubs, but you don't really rub it because it'll come off on your hands. A little bit comes off on your hands, that's normal, but just little pats. Looks like I missed a corner here. There we go. Do the same thing with the sides. Sides can be a little tricky. I don't worry too much about the 6-inch rule on this because it's tricky. If you don't get it all, not a big deal. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is do the second rack off camera, since you've already seen the demonstration of the first one. You want to let these sit anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. Next thing I'm going to do is it's going to be indirect on a gas grill. I have a 3-burner grill plus a sear burner. It's basically 4 burners. So I turned off the burner in the middle, the sear burner, and the far right burner. Let me give you a visual. Here I am talking, it's hard for you to see it. Okay, so my particular grill is the Weber E335 propane grill. Left burner, center burner, right burner, sear burner. The sear burner is the same BTUs as the other burner, so it's basically like 4 burners. So I went ahead and turned all these off, and I'm gonna leave the one on the far left. So we're gonna put the ribs right over here on the right. Let me show you again. There we go. We're gonna put the ribs indirect over here. I'm gonna leave it on high. I have a smoker box from Kingsford. I'm gonna put that here on the right. I wanna leave it myself on the upper grate so I can move it around towards the meat if I have to. You can also put it under the grate right on top of the flavorizer bars that cover the burners. I also have a foil pouch, smoker pouch. I just did a video the other day on how to make these. So I'm gonna be monitoring my ambient temperature with my iGrill 3. Here's the probe, and then the cable goes down. These grills have an automatic or a ready place to install the iGrill 3. I really like it. I'll do a different video about that, but that's an app on my phone. So I'll be checking my app on my phone between filming here. But again, I'm gonna close this up and wait for that smoke to start coming out. And I'll put on the ribs. All right, we're 30 minutes in. Got my spray bottle here with apple juice. Couple things. I moved, making barbecue, grilling, cooking in general is all about experimenting, especially when you're new. I'm not new to barbecue or grilling, but I am new to gas rib or spare ribs on the gas grill. I moved the smoke box and the smoke patch back to the direct flame to see if that'll get it smoking again. I thought it would smoke on its own, and it did not. So I got my spray bottle. Be real generous with the apple juice. Do not be afraid of overspraying. This will give a good flavor. Hopefully get a nice bark exterior out of it and keep them nice and tender. All right, we'll see you in another half hour, and hopefully that smoke will get going. All right, so we're about 55 minutes into the cook, 5 minutes away from a second round of juice spritz, apple juice spritz. Moving the wood chips to the actual burner operating was a good call, getting nice smoke now. Okay, we're at the 1 hour mark, second interval for a spritz. As you can see, our smoke box is working great. Our smoke pouch is working great. We're gonna give these a nice liberal spritz of juice. We're starting to get some nice color. And in one more half hour, we're gonna give one final spritz and then double wrap in aluminum foil. I'll show you how to do that in 30 minutes, but be really liberal with the juice. So I've got the ribs. I went ahead and pulled off 2 sheets from my big roll of heavy duty. Make sure it's heavy duty aluminum foil. So I've got 2 on top of each other. I'm gonna take, excuse my shoulder, I'm gonna take my apple juice sprayer, give it a nice, one last liberal spray around the ribs and on top. This will make some nice steam when it's nice and wrapped. If you've never wrapped up something before, it's real easy. I can't wrap a Christmas present to save my life, but wrapping meat's pretty basic. Fold it over like so, just the top one, and then close it, put it down real tight. So now we have our second layer. Same thing, one half, the other side, and fold it over. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the other rack off camera. I did put the ribs again, basically upside down, meat side down. Now it's bone side up. And I will let this go for another hour and a half. And then we will go ahead and check at an hour and a half if we're getting pullback on the bones. I'll tell you what that's all about shortly, as well as tenderness in between the bones. Stay tuned. So earlier it was off camera. I went ahead and opened up one of the racks and was looking for what's called pullback. If you're not familiar with that, pullback is when you have bits of bone sticking out from the meat. And as you can see, it's about a thumb's width. Now it's like that. Before I was starting to see, probably 45 minutes ago to an hour ago, 45 minutes ago I checked, and I was not getting the pullback I wanted, and I wanted to get a temperature between the bones of 190 to 200 degrees, and it was around 178. So let's go ahead and take a look. I've got my instant read thermometer. If you've never seen one of those, they come in real handy. I definitely have the pullback I want, the color that I want, looking nice and juicy, at least on the outside. Let's see what, and then before I do the temp, I'm gonna poke it through between the bones, and it should be like a hot knife through butter. There we go. Or as one person said, a toothpick in peanut butter. Just gotta know where to poke. That's nice. So let's go ahead and do a read. Right there. I want 190 to 200. And we have 190.8. Perfect today. So here they are sliced up. First rack. A little bit of a smoke ring. I've seen better ones, but let's go ahead and do the taste test. So let's go ahead and take a look. So far I think we're doing okay. Excuse me. Could have been better smoke, but considering it's a gas grill, I think it's definitely better smoke than you'd think. Charcoal's definitely the way to go if you got the time, but turned out really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice up another rack because I got a couple hungry guests here and it's getting late. From Hammy's Barbecue and Grilling, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and look forward to seeing you on another video. Thank you so much.